Hey everyone, and welcome back to some more Rise of the Tomb Raider. So, I have completed the main game and there's something in the marketplace. Let's go ahead and look that. So today I'm gonna actually start my DLC, which is the Blood Ties. It's called the Blood Ties. What the hell? So my internet connection is still shit. That's why it's taking a while to load. Fuck that. Okay, so this is the DLC that we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start with the new story for Blood Ties. Yes. Right, so there's not a lot of adventure or action in this part, this DLC. It's more like a exploring Croft Manor DLC, so there's going to be a lot of collectibles in here, but not a lot of action, not a lot of camps or anything of the game.
Final notice to Lara Croft, current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared, and given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere. Dad's safe. Needs a combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library. My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing. That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good.
The treasure of the ancients. Right. What else?
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia. And apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things. I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond. And she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving in argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for not having noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
Right. First impressions. Lord Croft's journals. I always knew that my parents met at Oxford, but never the circumstances. Just like Dad to argue mythology as a way to flirt.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start. Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
Right. Lord Croft's diploma. Lord Croft's belongings. This is glowing. Nothing there. All this stuff is glowing.
A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the color was nice.
Photo of Lara, Richard and Anna. Lara's childhood.
This is probably my grandfather Benjamin.
Benjamin Croft statue bust. Ancestors legacy. So lots of collectibles in this area itself, it seems.
Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb. Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
Truth behind myth. Lord Croft's belongings. What else? Nothing here. Okay, there's a diary.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. I see but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement, though I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family. But there's nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect. Such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
Next steps. Amelia's journals. Mom's own words. I can almost imagine her speaking. I wish I could remember her
It
voice.
must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did. One of Dad's Yoruba masks. A gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria.
African mask. Lord Croft's belongings. So there is quite a lot of stuff. I think we got everything in this room.
The door to the library. Locked. There's got to be another way through. Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Egyptian Ankh. Immortality collection.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages. Too dark. Going to need a flashlight.
Okay, time to find a flashlight.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me that she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did? Maybe I'm just being silly, but will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school?
Asking about Mom. Messages. It was so hard for Dad to talk about Mom. Okay, nothing.
Lara, I've reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health. I somehow doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims. Indeed, where have you been the past few weeks? My secretary discovered that you booked a flight to Turkey on the 20th. You can't have been simply sightseeing, as your customs claims suggest. I know you're up to something, and I'll be damned if I let you use the Croft assets to indulge the same obsession that led to my sister's death. It's not too late to relinquish your claims on the manor voluntarily. If you refuse, I will find a way to cut you off. Sincerely, Atlas.
Clearance, Atlas the Mornay. I don't know how I feel about keeping this old manor, but one thing is clear to me. I need Uncle Atlas out of my life for good.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be borrowing your sword this time.
Okay. Not borrowing his sword. That's fine, I guess.
The Grand Hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see...
We've been through this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Just stay out of there, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing. Locked. Need a key to open this.
Right, we don't have the key. I'm assuming we'll get to it later.
This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here? Someone has a sense of humor.
Stop smoking, love. R. Anna's cigarette case. Croft extended family. Okay. Anything else I need to explore?
A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Right, so there's only one area which can be explored. 54 relics. Wow. 40 documents and 2 murals. Already got 1 mural.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Looking at the compass, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
Right.
The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was submitting my work. Never thought there was a chance of being accepted. But a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin in New York and travel across the United States and... Oh, God! I'm giddy even writing these words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby. But it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He will laugh at that and insist I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side, in time.
A life of possibilities. Amelia's journals. This is incredible. Mom was on the verge of fulfilling one of her dreams. Fate can be so cruel. Oh, did she die in Tibet? Is that what happened?
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Right. Let's explore this area. Nothing here. Okay. There's a document here.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
A subtle threat. Atlas the Monet. My uncle's first attempt at trying to cut me off from the manor. It backfired though. I wasn't as crazy as he believed.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip.
Flashlight here. Okay. You got the flashlight.
Should be able to explore the dark now. Hey Jonah, sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened and I need some time to think about what I want to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long I don't even know if I want to keep it. But after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me, if it's worth fighting him for. I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
A message to Jonah. Messages. I hope Jonah doesn't worry about me too much. We haven't talked since I left for Syria. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is somewhere between the time when Lara went to Syria and when Lara went to Siberia. In between that time, this is happening.
I'm not sure. I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these days.
Unknown statue bust. Ancestors' legacy. There's nothing here. There's something... Nope. Nope. I think we're done exploring this part. We've explored upstairs, so can't get in any of the other doors right now though. So I'm just gonna go ahead through the servants area. Where was that again? I really don't want to miss out on anything. I'll try not to. There's something here.
Amelia, the news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the Earl of Farringdon. She is beside herself with worry. But, for the moment, she's controlling the narrative. As far as anyone knows, you're just having innocent second thoughts. But the moment your affair with Lord Croft goes public, it will be too late. Our name will be as ruined as this man you've chosen to bed. Don't you see that you're being selfish, Amelia? Please, consider your family. You're a de Mornay. Everything you do has a greater effect on us all. I'm coming down to London soon. Don't do anything rash until we have a chance to talk.
A brother's warning. Atlas the Monet. Mom was engaged to someone else? there's so much I never knew about her. I really want to get all the content, all the information I possibly can about Lara's past. Okay.
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed that test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow in the bright Egyptian sun amidst the dust and ruins.
Travels together. Lord Croft's journals. I heard so many stories about that expedition. To see it from Dad's perspective makes me realize that it was Mom who made it all so memorable.
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
There's a door here, which we cannot access. There's a document there.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years. I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon some mythic, unknown truth, but I have seen nothing to support such claims. And while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation, and that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, but I want to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara.
A brother's plea. Atlas the Monet. Uncle Atlas has been causing problems for my family for too long now. I'm glad Mom ignored his warnings. Right.
Still just as creepy as I remember.
Is someone there? There's quite a few things back there. Okay.
I'm at a crossroads now. Good Lord, that's such a cliche. But there's truth in it. Two roads before me. Both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family. But also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand. Or a life of obligation, upholding the de Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. Oh, this really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough?
Who knows? Shit. I did not read what that was about. Okay, it's gonna be really hard to find now. Sorry about that.
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, so she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, but I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It'll be a nice moment for the two of them to reconnect. And I do believe he needs it as much as she does.
Birthday expedition, Winston. It really was one of the best birthdays I ever had. Okay, in order to move that, I think I'm gonna go through here. Right. That is the trick. Nothing over here.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Right, I think this is the way forward. So I'm gonna explore that last part, which I missed. Something over here.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with estate affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now, and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which you sealed off, to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions. Later in the day, she set a trap for me in the walk-in freezer, of all places. And before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara in the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
Little angel, Winston. Oh, poor Winston. I remember doing that to him. I can't believe I was such a little brat. Thank goodness he had such patience with me.
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
Right, so there's no way on the other side. Let's go inside this scary cave. There is a lot of relics.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Right, so I'm assuming...
Dad, this is it! The basement of despair!
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there! See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The keepers of knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
Right, let's check out the map.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
So we've reached this bird statue. We have to take the first left, but we're not gonna do that exactly. I want to actually...
This is the map I made for my first expedition.
go through here to explore. There's something here.
My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy.
Mummy Bear, Lara's childhood. Right, nothing else here. So this is the second entrance. If I go this way, this way is going to be another tomb, I guess. Let me see.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad.
Right. And I have to go through here. This is the way out.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my hair ribbons to make this. He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise.
Trap mechanism. Lara's childhood. Right.
Water damage from the main hall above.
I think I missed something.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path.
So this is the trap. Okay, we're going the right way. Or maybe there's something else. Okay, we've already explored that part. Right. Nothing to explore here. Before heading out, I want to go take this.
This bust of Anubis was from Dad's Egyptian collection. He must have put it down in the basement for our little expedition.
Ancient Anubis bust, Immortality collection. Right, let's get out.
Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Renovation plans. The renovations.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met. I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
Cracks in the foundation. Lord Croft's journals. It was almost over before it started. I always admired Dad's ability to recognize when he was wrong. Okay.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
Right, so unfortunately guys, this is where I'm going to be ending the video. In the next video, we're going to explore this rest of the house. I'm thinking it's going to take me 2 or 3 videos maybe to complete this entire DLC, but we'll see how it goes. See you next time guys, bye.